Roblox, a platform that over the years has become a hub for players to interact, spend time, and enjoy some games together. Individuals from all over the world can play together for free, making it a fun experience for everyone, well, sometimes at least. And there are some horrid stories of Roblox players participating in rather shady and sometimes even illegal activities for real-world gain like money or control over others. These accounts that I will mention have all been permanently banned, meaning they have committed severe violations that do not fit community guidelines, but these cases aren't your usual run-of-the-mill offenses. No, today we'll be talking about heartless monsters that took advantage or manipulated the Roblox ecosystem to have their way. These terminations would include things like seducing, talking to minors, and even life-threatening actions. The first person we have on our list is a 27-year-old man by the name of Matthew Naval, who met a 10-year-old girl on the Roblox game Micah. The little girl unfortunately started to trust Naval, and she sent him her address. Naval did not hesitate and drove over. He then kidnapped and drove the little girl 250 miles from her home in Taft, California, where she was found. He was also accused of having sexual actions with the girl, which on top of kidnapping and driving nearly 300 miles just makes this man a complete monster.
I should have been more questioning when it came to having that person involved.
I should have been more questioning when having that person involved. Well, you were the one to kidnap her, so maybe she should have been questioning your involvement, but then again, she's 10 years old and can't really consent.
Let's just say I gained their trust, or they gained my trust in some sort.
By the way, that's exactly what a guilty person sounds like. I gained their trust. Yeah, you sound like a serial killer. You sound like Jeffrey Dahmer.
I was a little bit like hesitant because of like age or whatnot, but I was pretty much encouraged. Encouraged. Yeah, good one, Naval. Encouraged by 10-year-olds, because that's probably what it means. You know, you're probably into young people, little people, minors.
So when did you discover she was 10 years old?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. You know, maybe after I kidnapped her and, you know, it's California, the sun is blinding, I had my shades on, you know, I took them off and then I was like, what the heck? There's a 10-year-old in my car. I thought she was 18. That's really crazy, man. I mean, either way, she says she was 18 turning 19, so not my fault. She clickbaited me, guys.
Because, I'm sorry, it like sickens me every time I hear that age.
Every time you hear that age or see that age, because I'm pretty sure you can tell the difference between a 10-year-old and an 18-year-old. It's quite distinct. I mean, I might be crazy, but like, whatever.
She told me that everyone that she knows, she always tells her that she looks younger than her age. And then I tend to believe that because likewise for myself, people would tell me myself that I look younger for my age.
Yeah, Matthew, you do look really young. Matter of fact, I think you could pass as a 10-year-old. I mean, I could see it, right, guys? Right? I know you have to make excuses here because you're looking at life in prison, but these are so bad. It's probably better if you just keep your mouth shut. I don't think you can save yourself from this one, man.
Naval's attorney, Mark Anthony Raimondo, told 17 News after the arraignment that Naval is on the autism spectrum.
Yeah, good one, attorney. Just call me autistic and that ought to do the trick. You could call me gay too. I mean, that might do something. Yeah, I think Naval got the BOGO buy one get one free lawyer, because if you have to say your client is on the spectrum to try and justify his actions, that's like licking the floor for Cheeto crumbs. What an outlandish thing to say. So yeah, Matthew Naval is facing 7 felony charges, including kidnapping and committing sexual acts with a minor, and has pleaded not guilty to all his charges, which I'm pretty sure his attorney here will figure something out. And apparently the bail is $1.35 million, which unless Naval comes from some prestigious family, I don't think he's touching freedom anytime soon. This guy he's cooked. Well, that's what you get for kidnapping people, Matthew. Minors. Sorry, minors. Well, enough about Matthew. Our next guy or woman by the name of Tara Alexis Skies, a 36-year-old woman from Florida. Floridians always get a bad rep, and this is just adding to the fire. And although the specific game isn't mentioned in this report, the actions are mentioned, however, and they are pretty graphic. Like this stuff, which I don't want to say, but I will pop it up and highlight it. Yeah, it's some pretty disgusting stuff. Now, the 10-year-old and 2-year-old do live under the same roof through a foster care system, so they aren't technically related, but the story sort of goes as Skies and the 10-year-old were playing Roblox. The 10-year-old was starting to complain about the 2-year-old, saying he became fussy. And the 36-year-old woman told the kid the terrible things to do, and the kid listened and dropped the infant on the kitchen floor, receiving a skull fracture where he then had to be taken to the hospital. And for those of you who are probably saying, well, the 10-year-old probably had some common sense to not drop the infant. Well, on top of the horrible things that Sky said, she also threatened the 10-year-old girl that if she did not follow the instructions that were given, that she would harm or even unalive her if the deed wasn't done. This is a pure form of evil that I don't even think the devil himself could come up with. This is just hatred for the sake of hatred, and in this instance, it's life-threatening. And Sykes was charged with attempted murder back in October of 2024, still being held without bond and will probably stay there for the rest of her life, or at least I hope. And I forgot to mention that on top of ordering the girl to harm the infant, she also told the girl to unalive the adults by snip their throats while they sleep, and burning the house down by dousing the bed sheets with aerosol spray and getting a lighter. Sorry YouTube, I'm really trying my best. Yeah, she's definitely not seeing the pearly gates. It was probably her life mission to go to the underworld, if I'm being honest. I mean, congratulations, because this is probably the best way to go about it. Well, enough about her. Our next person goes by the name of Scribbin, a 17-year-old boy or man, because he's almost an adult, and would message younger age individuals on Roblox and was directing the children to yeah, this is uncomfortable. To inappropriately touch their younger siblings and make cheese pizza content, which, if you don't know what cheese pizza means in this context, it's probably better if you don't, if I'm being honest. But Christian would lie about his age to become more acceptable and win their trust. And for the frequency that he would operate under, Christian would contact 4 to 5 children every day for a year. Imagine if he spent that time doing actually something productive, or literally anything else, if I'm being honest. He could have been the next Mark Zuckerberg with that dedication. It's just honestly sad to see. Christian actually told the detective that he was planning to stop once he turned 18. I don't know if bro thought he had God mode on until he legally became an adult, but what a crazy thing to say. Like, not only is it just not true, but it doesn't help your case at all. He was arrested on April 16, 2025 and was detained shortly in the Department of Juvenile Justice before getting charged as an adult and now remains in jail without bond. And you would never guess where this guy's from. Yeah, he's from Florida. As a Floridian myself, I didn't know we had that many creepy crawlies. I thought we were based. That's already 2 in this video that are from Florida, and all 3 are from America, so. Also in America, a 27-year-old man by the name of Darius Matylewich, who was arrested by the FBI themselves for kidnapping an 11-year-old by crossing state lines from New Jersey to Delaware. Using Roblox to first meet and then message her on Discord and Snapchat, and police have uncovered the messages, and Darius had the victim perform weird acts on camera, also making the child produce cheese pizza. Darius was talking to an 11-year-old without the parents' knowledge, and like the first guy we mentioned who traveled miles, this guy also went a distance of 270 miles, 135 miles to Wayne, New Jersey, and 135 miles back to Bear, Delaware. This man has also been accused of storing hundreds of photos and videos on his iPhone Photos applications, but can only be accessed through Apple's facial recognition. Again, the specific game isn't reported, but it's definitely a travesty when these grown men feel a sense of power over a young innocent person, to the point where they can abduct them and even travel state lines. It's insane. And the police did not mention any specifics on the abducting, but he has been charged with coercion and incitement of a minor and production of cheese pizza. I mean, he looks like he would enjoy some cheese pizza. Another person who was also transported a minor, a 27-year-old man by the name of Arnold Castillo from New Jersey. This man communicated with a 15-year-old girl under the false persona calling himself Jacob Chetlitsky. But this was probably inspired by the former creative director at Roblox that worked from 2006 to 2014, because I don't know anyone else with that last name. But he would message her on Roblox, Instagram, and Discord and engage in grooming behaviors like buying her anime artwork and buying things on Amazon for her like a drawing tablet and even a Wacom Mobile Studio Pro 13 Windows 10 computer delivered straight to her home in Indiana. Castillo had also made the girl believe he had connections available to give her employment opportunities in the gaming industry, using this power and control as leverage to engage in sexually charged conversations. He made her believe that her family was the enemy and out to get her, while manipulating the girl to fall in love with him mainly due to his quote-unquote connections. During these conversations with the young girl, Castillo planned to arrange a meeting with her by sending her from Indiana all the way to New Jersey, which is around 700 miles, having to cross multiple state lines. And Castillo had to pay around $500 for the ride to transport her, and this trip probably took around 9 to 11 hours just for her to arrive and get S8 on multiple occasions, and even used Uber to attempt to buy a plan B. And I say multiple occasions because he actually kept her in his residence for a couple days and continued to abuse her, all the while the girl's family and law enforcement were looking for her. And in a recorded phone call that came out after this incident, he lied to the police saying he didn't know about her whereabouts and that she must have ran away, but all the while he had her maintained in his residence. And finally, 8 days after the girl was reported missing, FBI agents saw her and Castillo outside his residence and arrested him while having unopened condoms in his pocket. He admitted to law enforcement that he kept her safe in his care, custody, and control in a small room, while also monitoring her movements in and out of the room while also administering what she eats. He was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to transporting a minor with the intent to engage in criminal SA and coercion and incitement of a minor. And after so, he would be on probation for 20 years while having to pay $10,000 in restitution to the victim. I saved this one last because it's probably the worst one out of all the ones I mentioned today, and it's just a cruel reality to know of the lengths some people will go to interact with minors. It's frightening. And to add as a remark that all these cases I talked about today related in some way to endangering, manipulating, and abducting an adolescent child through the means of Roblox. And this video isn't made to cancel Roblox or anything, but to really display the horrors that can happen with young adults and complete destitute who prey on younger audiences as they use an innocent platform like Roblox to corrupt the experience for everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched until this point in the video, I greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe for more content like this. I'm trying to do new stuff with my channel. I try to be lighthearted in my videos, but it's kind of hard to do that in these type of videos. But if there's any other video ideas that you guys want me to do, or any research that you guys want me to do, please let me know. Even certain video game challenges or literally anything, just comment down below. I'm starting off small here, but I'm really trying to grow my channel. I'm trying to get better at editing, writing better script, whatever, and I need your support. That'll be all for this video. Try not to eat too much sugar and drink a lot of water. Bye.